So around 7 or 8 months ago, I tried speedrunning the world's hardest game, but I've been thinking about getting back into it, so I actually asked the world record holder if I could react to his world record. And after this one, we're also going to watch the world record for the world's hardest game too, so it's going to be a good video. Alright, so right away, I can't see things being too different. I mean, he's kind of just going through. There's not really too much you can do to go faster in a couple of these rooms. I'm guessing these are definitely going to be the hardest strats though. Like, you're going to be really close to things at all times. That one's not too hard. It looks pretty hard, but it's okay. I mean, it's just going to be a pretty simple run at the beginning. Not too much you can do to speed this up. I mean, the real hard part about getting a run this good, I think, is just having it being the 0 death while using all the fastest strats. I'm guessing a lot of time went into this, so I'm excited to see, especially when we get into the later levels, because there are like 30 levels in total. All right, this one pretty much just going through. I mean, for these, I pretty much use the exact same strats, but like I said, I think when it's really going to get crazy is when we get deeper into the video. Let's see. Ow. Oh. How is he not getting hit right there? That's insane. I didn't know the hitboxes in that level were that bad. Wow, that is... And he takes the first cycle, is barely missing all of these things. These hitboxes are terrible. I did not know they were that bad. Okay, and for this one, he actually takes a different path than I took, which I guess is a faster path. It's probably a little bit harder though, or it's probably like they're the same speed and just goes all the way through. This one, oh my... This is... Okay, that is insane. Usually you just want to go slowly but surely making your way through. That is actually crazy. And then we kind of just have a normal level. This level is actually really hard though. It's much harder than it looks to get down. And then this one, which is just full of blue dots. This is definitely a scary level because so many things can kill you, but as long as you're going slow, it's not too bad. But of course, he's not really going to be going slow. I wonder if he's going to wait right here. Yeah, okay. So he does still have to wait. You know, you can't outspeed the things. That level, actually one of the easiest levels when you know the strategy in the game. And this one is as well because you can just hold going forward and then just go through. It's really nice. For this one, it's, yeah, pretty much just no hesitation. I mean, most mortals, most people who aren't absolute geniuses at the game wouldn't have that type of confidence, but I bet there has been a lot of time that's been put in this record, and yeah, just zero fear at all. That was that was scary. That was really scary watching that. And did that even save him much time? He waited a second anyway. I think that was just to show it off because this is still the exact same cycle I take. I think he just wanted to show that he could do it. Okay. Yeah, this level's also really easy. You just have to start moving forward right away, but here's where it gets harder. Now we have kind of the purple levels, but again, just pretty much zero hesitation. It is also crazy, these hitboxes sometimes. I know the hitboxes obviously aren't the best, but I'm thinking back to that one level and like, it definitely looked like he should have been hit. But I guess when you know the game this well, you know exactly what levels and where you can go into them and just not get hit. This is one where you kind of just take a cycle, but he's obviously just doing a faster cycle. Yeah, just going through. Pretty easy. Now we have this one. This is one of the most annoying levels in the game because, yeah, it just spins around. You have to go multiple times. That was an extremely quick way of doing it. Okay. And then there's also an extremely quick way of doing it. Oh, I hate this level. It's not that bad, but it feels bad because all the things are moving. Oh, I do not. And then this one, I forgot this is a level. This level broke me when I tried speedrunning this game. And then they just make it look like, yeah. No, this level's bad because if you mess up any of these, you just have to restart from the beginning and you have to get all these right away. He did go a little bit slower right at the end, I noticed, so that was probably a smart thing to do. And then, yeah, pretty much just no fear. This one's basically just about knowing your cycle, though. Obviously, taking the hardest cycle and the fastest cycle, but yeah, just knowing your cycle. This is a very scary room where you just have to dive in between these things, but it's also just knowing your cycle. A lot of this game does come down to knowing the cycle, but then you also have to execute on it. And especially, I imagine the nerves are insane right now. Okay, and then for that one, you know, just kind of going through, more insane than it looks. Then we have this last one, which this one is actually a really easy level. If you can just get it right away. Because, again, it's just knowing your cycle. Everything's moving relatively slow, so there's not too much of a problem with it as long as you just don't make a terrible mistake. And there we go, a 5:14. Actually insane. Aaron speedruns. Okay. All right. So for the World's Hardest 2 game, this is a much longer game. As you can see with like the 50 levels instead of the 30, it takes 15 minutes. Why was I not able to read that? But yeah, it also has a bit better animations, I guess. I kind of like the low-key animations, not seeing the yellow dots rotate, but I guess it's not too much of a problem. And this is actually a game that I've never speedrun, so this is kind of more of like a blind reaction. I can't really tell what's going to be insane and not, or I can probably still tell, but gonna be a bit harder. They add in keys for this game. I did play this game when I was a kid, so I do have a general idea of like how it works. And I mean, they're all pretty much the same game. It's the same idea. Oh, I remember this level. This level is terrible. Like I was saying for the first one, though, it all just comes down to cycles. But this one is absolutely terrifying to do. But just makes it look super easy. Yeah, I can't really see this one being that bad. Like, you kind of just do the thing. As long as you have the right amount of time, you're good to go. And you're just awful at this, even at 0 deaths. And then that as well, you were supposed to go all the way down, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, they're just like, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we have this one. Like, I think definitely for the World's Hardest game too, a lot of these levels are harder than the originals, especially for the beginning levels. The later levels in the original game are going to be harder than the beginning levels in the second game. But I guess, you know, the game assumes that you probably beat the first one, so you should be able to beat these insane ones. And hey, look, it was something that really looks like my name. Okay, for this one, it's just kind of, yeah, going through. I mean, there are a lot more content. There's a lot more content in this game, and there's a lot more places you can die. So it definitely seems like they're taking it a bit more slow, but I think that's the way to go. Because ultimately, in a game like this, a death is going to cost you so much more than anything else. If you can just get a deathless run, then you're kind of cracked at the game. Oh, and this one, yeah. Always with these spinning ones, they spin at a really weird kind of speed. So you have to make sure you're close enough to the thing, and then you can pop out, get the different things. And this is... I know that's just a pattern you got to do, but just like looking at it is insane. This one doesn't look too bad. Patterns. I think that, I mean, in general, too, for me personally, when I'm speedrunning a game like this, the faster they go, even though you know the pattern, it's like, it's still harder to do, even if you do know the pattern, just because it scares you more. Like, you can have the perfect type of thing, but like here, you know, it's still really scary because they're going moderately fast. But if they were going double the speed, even if it was the same amount of difficulty, you know, somehow it would be a scarier thing in general. Wow, this is a lot of keys you gotta get, and also a lot of balls. Oh, he actually died there. Okay, 1 death. I mean, still, like, 1 death on level 19. I think that's probably the best anybody's ever done that, so, you know. And okay, he does have the checkpoint right there as well. So it's not too much of a time loss just to get that death. Now right here, it's pretty much the exact same thing, which is kind of nice about this. You know, you just got to make it through one. You already know how to make it through the other. You got the checkpoints. At least this game doesn't give you no checkpoints. That would be absolutely awful. And yeah, just going, this part looks insane. And yeah, it clearly is insane too. So losing a tiny bit more time right here. And I mean, I can't even like judge this. Again, this is a 15-minute run. Getting it down to a perfect timing is near impossible. Like very close to impossible to not make mistakes, especially as the nerves start coming in. And they are doing this game much better than anybody watching this video can. I can promise that. This game is so much harder than the last one, especially now once it gets to this point. I think one part of that too is how long the levels are. A lot of these levels to complete, they're going to take like 30 seconds to a minute. And just because it's a longer level, it's going to increase the difficulty because you have to be perfect for that much longer. Like for this one, there's no checkpoint. You just have to be perfect this entire time. And especially as you're going as fast as they are, like... but just able to make it through easy. Now let's see. All right, I like that one. It's like the room in the World's Hardest Game 1, but much harder because there are more things to deal with. Oh, this would be an annoying room to do. You know, I'm looking at this speedrun. I'm like, do I want to speedrun World's Hardest Game 2? Let me know in the comments if I should. Okay, just going, getting those keys, able to make it to the end. That is, oh, I would have definitely taken the safer way. I would have taken the safer, slower way for that one. Now here... going through there. Oh, that is scary. Oh, that sucks. That is the worst feeling when you're almost to the end of the level and then you die. Literally the worst feeling in the world for a game like this. This is kind of what I was talking about. This is such a long level. And even though you're doing the exact same thing over and over again, and at least you do have checkpoints, it's like, it's such a long level, so you have to be consistent through the entire thing, which, you know, is why it's the world's hardest game. But the consistency that has to come with here, especially once you get close to the end, the nerves start kicking in, like at any end of a level, especially because it keeps the same intensity too, which, you know, I like, but I kind of wish it would get harder for that type of thing. You know, it would get harder because, like, if it's the same thing, then you're like, okay, I can't mess this up. I've done this so many times in a row. If it gets harder at the end, you're like, okay, I died to the harder part. You know, it's okay. But because it's the exact same thing, if you die there, it is heartbreaking. Now, for this one, lots of yellow. Making it through. Oh, that was... I do not think I would have taken that risk right there. I think I would have waited slightly longer. Because if you miss that, you're starting over. I do have to appreciate that this game uses a lot more checkpoints than I think the original game used. I think they realized, okay, these levels they're kind of long, but easy ending. Getting into the 30s, okay. This is now where the difficulty is really going to spike up because you can see that there are more colors. So of course it's going to spike up and become almost impossible. I'm wondering how he's going to do this one. Oh, okay. So you really have to do this one slow. There's not really like a fast option where you can weave in and out of things. I assume also because the hitboxes are probably better in this version. So it's harder to dodge things just by like cheesing the hitboxes. Oh, I would not like to do that one. You must be getting exhausted. I feel like they are definitely getting exhausted right now. That is annoying because that's just like sensory overload for this one. Because there's so many things on the screen and it's kind of hard in the action telling which one is going to be the purple dot and which one is the yellow one because they're all just dots. So it's like, oh, that would be hard to pay attention to. And this one as well. These things are moving insanely fast. Okay. I don't even know how to begin. When I was a kid, I definitely never got to these levels. And I don't even know where to begin. How as a kid do you figure that out? You have to watch a tutorial, I think. And this is like one of the first levels in the original game, but its difficulty is spiked up because instead of having walls here, they have more dots which can kill you. But just making it through, no checkpoints either. I'm pretty sure this is almost the exactly same room. I don't think it is, but like it's pretty similar to what it was in the original, but just ramped up the How do you... I'm trying to look at the pattern of where you want to go for this. How's the safest way to do this? And I think unfortunately it is that. It had no checkpoints for this one too. I just realized he had to respawn from the beginning because there are no checkpoints on this. They're not giving you anything. They're saying, no, you're doing it completely perfect. Just making it through. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Some of these levels I can't even do commentary over. It's just like, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, this is like the original game, only 10 times harder. That's my commentary. This is pain the game. This is pain the game. You just feel pain when you play this game. Like I said, I've never gotten this far when I was a kid. A lot of these levels seem like they're like the original World's Hardest Game levels. Like I recognize that one really well, but they ramp up the difficulty by a lot, which is a smart way of doing it. And okay, this is definitely one you have to memorize. So, you know, that's kind of just memorization. And then also making sure you don't die. And again, another one that's really similar to the original game, but they ramp up the difficulty by 1,000,000. And I can just like, I'm imagining myself playing this. Throughout this entire thing, I've just been imagining myself playing this and how angry I would get. It's awesome. Subscribe to both of these creators, okay? Go down. If you want more content like this, they do a lot of the World's Hardest Game things. Like, if you're interested in that, subscribe to them. Go check out their world records and their videos. It's a good idea because no human should be able to do this well. No human should have 15 deaths right now. You should have at least a couple hundred. Okay. No human being should be able to do this, you know? This is terrifying. I think the best thing about this run is I get terrified along with the runner. Like, I'm getting nervous for them. And there's not too much at stake at me. I'm reacting. Easiest content in the world. There's not too much stake, but just look at this. Okay, just slipping through. Taking it a little slow. That's smart. You're on level 44. If you reset, you lose like 30 seconds. This one takes skill. It's not only tons of yellow pellets and all the red pellets trying to kill you, but it moves back and forth on a timer. That messes with your mind so much. You just gotta go back and forth. You just go up there. All right, other way. And then there was the red dot. Did you see the red dot right at the ending? That would have easily just killed you if you were a little not being safe. I bet that's killed so many people who have gotten that far, and oh, that must have caused so many rage quits. But not for Daneker. Daneker has got this. All right. How many levels? 5 levels, including this one. No skills, no way. I don't even know how the game is still talking trash after you see what's going on. How, as a self-righteous game, are you still talking trash about this YouTuber, this speedrunner? This one, I think, is just like a pattern, but this is a hard pattern. Like, memorizing all of that. All he has to do is make it through this one, which is just kind of popping in and out, which, you know, I'm saying it's just kind of popping in and out. It's more like heart attacks popping in. 1 level left. I'm actually excited to see what 50 is. I've never seen this. Impossible. Okay. I guess it's not impossible. How did they make that seem so easy? And now if we want to look at the leaderboards, we can see Aaron, like, a good 10 seconds ahead of the next person. Insane. And Daneker is like 50, which, I mean, makes sense because it's a longer game, so it's harder. But yeah, insane. I'm gonna say it one more time. Please go subscribe to their YouTube channels. They're in the description. And I guess if you want to throw me a pity sub as well, you can do that. Subscribe to EazySpeezy too. Oh, and go follow me on Twitch, I guess. All right, bye.